On December 19, 2025, the trajectory of human history shifted not with an explosion, but with a whisper. An interstellar object designated 3I Atlas made its closest approach to Earth, bringing with it a sequence of anomalies that dismantled our understanding of physics, history, and our place in the cosmos. From defying gravitational mechanics near Jupiter to transmitting a signal encoded with a reconstructed Sumerian hymn, this was not a random celestial flyby. It was a calculated event. Today, we unravel the terrifying and awe-inspiring narrative of an alien audit, exploring the possibility that humanity is currently under a microscope, being measured for a future we cannot yet comprehend. The story begins not with what the object is, but how it moves. In the vast, silent theater of space, everything follows a script written by gravity. Planets orbit, comets swing, and asteroids drift. But 3I Atlas refused to follow the script. When astronomers first locked their instruments onto 3I Atlas, they expected a passive body, a rock tumbling through the dark. Instead, they found a rebel. Across multiple observation windows, orbital solutions showed a subtle, repeatable reduction in velocity. To put this in perspective, imagine driving a car on an icy highway. If you take your foot off the gas, you slow down due to friction. In the vacuum of space, there is no friction. An object should maintain its speed unless acted upon by a force. 3I Atlas was slowing down. Initially, the scientific community scrambled for comfortable explanations. They looked for outgassing, the jets of gas that comets shoot out when they get close to the sun. Think of a deflating balloon flying around a room. That escaping air creates thrust. If 3I Atlas were shooting gas forward, it would slow down. But the telescopes revealed nothing. No jets, no dust clouds, no mass ejection. This is where the unease sets in. Under classical physics, deceleration without mass ejection is a contradiction. It's like a car braking without touching the wheels or the ground. Theories arose about non-luminous exhaust, propulsion so efficient or exotic it remains invisible to our sensors. As the object drew closer, moving past the orbit of Mars, the mystery deepened from motion to structure. High-resolution imaging revealed a coma, the cloud of atmosphere around the object that was chemically impossible. Spectrometers, the instruments that analyze light to determine chemical composition, picked up a shifting kaleidoscope. One day, 3I Atlas would glow with muted orange tones. The next, a pronounced, eerie green. In standard cometary science, green usually comes from diatomic carbon or cyanogen burning in sunlight. But 3I Atlas maintained this glow even when thermal conditions were too cold to trigger those reactions. Furthermore, the gas emissions were anisotropic in a way we've never seen. Usually, a comet heats up on the side facing the sun, and jets shoot out that way. 3I Atlas was releasing gas laterally, forward, and even inward. It was as if the object was breathing or venting, based on an internal clock rather than external heat. The object appeared to be regulating itself. It didn't fragment or break apart, despite this volatile activity. This suggests a shell or internal structure far stronger than the loose collection of ice and dust that makes up a normal comet. Think of the difference between a tumbleweed and a drone. A tumbleweed moves wherever the wind blows it. It is reactive. A drone stabilizes itself against the wind. It is active. 3I Atlas behaves like a drone disguised as a tumbleweed. It occupies the narrowing space of interpretation where natural explanations fail, leaving us with the uncomfortable possibility of artificiality. On December 17th, 2 days before its closest approach to Earth, 3I Atlas did something audacious. It skimmed the gravitational edge of Jupiter. Jupiter is the bully of the solar system. Its gravity is so immense that it acts as a vacuum cleaner, tearing apart comets or flinging them into deep space. The most famous example is comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, which was ripped into pieces and slammed into Jupiter in 1994. 3I I-Atlas entered this danger zone. But instead of being shredded, it seemed to use the planet. The trajectory analysis suggests the object experienced a gravitational stress test. It dipped into the gravity well, perhaps to utilize electromagnetic coupling with Jupiter's massive magnetosphere to dump excess kinetic energy, effectively using the planet as a brake. To survive such a pass requires incredible structural integrity. If 3I Atlas were a pile of rubble, Jupiter would have turned it into a ring of dust. The fact that it emerged whole suggests it is a solid, coherent object. This moment was the litmus test. If you are an interstellar probe, you don't just fly by Earth immediately. You test your systems against the biggest forces available first. You calibrate. Jupiter was the proving ground. It reminds us that before any major interaction or closest approach in life, there is often a period of extreme pressure, a test of structural integrity. 3 Atlas passed. As 3I Atlas swung past Jupiter, the silence broke. But it wasn't the greeting we had hoped for in our sci-fi dreams. There was no, "Take me to your leader." Physicist Michio Kaku and other experts analyzed a transient energy surge that coincided with the object's transit. It was a sharp, structured pulse. It triggered synchronization anomalies in our satellites and caused brief saturation effects in ground-based observatories. Imagine you are a network engineer fixing a stranger's internet. You don't walk in and start chatting about the weather. You sit down, open your terminal, and type ping. You send a packet of data to see if the system is alive and how fast it responds. That is what 3I Atlas did. It pinged Earth. It tested our ionosphere, our digital infrastructure, and our electromagnetic responsiveness. It measured the latency of our civilization. The signal was followed by echoes from different parts of the galaxy, arriving in a narrow time window. This suggests 3I Atlas is a node in a network. It pinged us, and then it reported back to a server we cannot see. This reframes the entire concept of first contact. We assume we are the main characters, worthy of a conversation. But to a Type 3 civilization, one that can control the energy of an entire galaxy, we might just be a router that needs a firmware check. It's a humbling perspective. It forces us to ask, are we players in this game, or are we just part of the hardware? If the ping was for the machines, the next layer of data was for the historians. This is where the story shifts from astrophysical to deeply psychological. The signal began with universal constants prime numbers, the ratio of hydrogen's standard interstellar language. But then, it shifted into base 60 mathematics. We still use base 60 today. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 360 degrees in a circle. Who invented this? The ancient Sumerians, 5,000 years ago in Mesopotamia. By using this specific number system, 3I Atlas was telling us, asterisk, I have been watching you since you learned to count. Asterisk, but the true shock came when the signal was decoded into audio. It wasn't static, it was a voice, a melodic chant. It was a reconstruction of an ancient Sumerian hymn. Here is the twist that keeps scientists awake at night. The pronunciation used in the signal matched modern linguistic reconstruction theories. Theories that were only finalized by human linguists in the last 10 years. If this were a recording from 5,000 years ago, it would sound like the ancient people actually spoke. But it sounded like we think they spoke. This implies two terrified possibilities. 1. Continuous surveillance. They have been watching our academic progress. They know we just figured out how to pronounce this, so they sent it back to us in a format we would recognize as correct. 2. The mirror. They are scraping our current data. They accessed our digital archives, found the file labeled Sumerian _him reconstruction, MP3, and played it back to us. This acts as a checksum, In computing, a checksum verifies the two files are identical. By sending this hymn, 3i Atlas verified that our history matches their records. It is a validation of our cultural continuity. It tells us that nothing we have done, from the clay tablets of Uruk to the servers of Silicon Valley, has gone unnoticed. As the signal analysis deepened, visual data emerged. 3i Atlas wasn't just listening. It was mapping. The decoded data projected a grid over the Earth. But this grid didn't care about borders. It didn't mark New York, London, or Beijing. It marked geological and archaeological nodes. The Giza Plateau, the Nazca Lines, megalithic sites in the Amazon. The datasets associated with these nodes resembled a resource audit. It measured mineral density, atmospheric stability, and biodiversity. It treated Earth not as a home for nations, but as a biological system to be managed. This leads to the most controversial hypothesis derived from the signal. The quarantine ring. The signal contained geometry, suggesting a boundary structure in the outer heliosphere, past Pluto. This aligns with the zoo hypothesis, the idea that advanced civilizations intentionally isolate developing worlds like ours. We view quarantine as a prison. But in a lab, quarantine is protection. You keep the samples isolated so they don't get contaminated, or so they don't contaminate the rest of the lab. The signal implies that humanity is in a developmental sandbox. We are being allowed to grow, to invent, and to struggle in isolation. But the arrival of 3 Atlas suggests the timer on this experiment is ending. The quarantine might be lifting, or perhaps we are about to be moved to a different facility. We arrive now at the most intimate and unsettling aspect of the 3i Atlas event. The second signal. According to Michio Kaku and data analysts, the second burst of information was a list, a catalog. It contained biometric signatures, neural patterns, and genetic markers. It was read-only. It didn't change anything. It just recorded. Why would an advanced civilization scan the biometrics of a population? 1. Filtration. They are looking for specific traits, adaptability, resilience, cognitive flexibility. 2. Archival. They are backing us up. In the digital world, you create a backup before you upgrade the system. Or, more ominously, you create a backup before you format the drive. The signal is accompanied by a countdown clock. The convergence window is less than 5 years. This archive suggests that the physical survival of every individual might not be the priority. The preservation of the information that makes us human is what matters. This is a profound shift in how we view value. We value our bodies, our possessions. 3i Atlas values our code. It values the patterns of our consciousness. It is a harvest, not of flesh, but of complexity. As 3i Atlas moves away from Earth, fading into the dark, it leaves us with more questions than answers. But the silence it leaves behind is different from the silence before. It is the silence of a room after a test is finished, while the students wait for the grade. What can we learn from this cosmic audit? 1. The value of adaptability. 3 Atlas didn't scan for the strongest or the richest. It scanned for the adaptable. In a universe defined by change, rigidity is a death sentence. In your own life, are you rigid? Do you cling to old models when the data changes? The lesson here is that survival belongs to those who can reshape themselves. 2. The reality of the legacy system. We are likely running on legacy code, ancient biology interacting with modern technology. The Sumerian hymn reminds us that we are a continuum. You are not just you. You are the result of 5,000 years of struggle. Honor that. 3. The urgency of now. The countdown, whether literal or symbolic, reminds us that time is finite. We often live as if we have forever to fix our planet, to fix our relationships, to fix ourselves. 3i Atlas tells us, asterisk, there is a schedule. Asterisk, major turning points approach rapidly. We are not alone, but we are also not central. We are a system being observed. This shouldn't generate fear. It should generate responsibility. If we are being audited, let us ensure that the data we generate, our actions, our kindness, our stewardship of this planet is worth archiving. 3i Atlas has cast its vote. It has synchronized its clocks. The question is no longer, are they out there? The question is, are we ready for what comes next? This narrative is evolving every day. As we analyze more of the residuals left by 3 Atlas, the picture will sharpen. Do not let this moment pass you by as just another news cycle. Engage with the mystery. Ask yourself, if you were being archived today, what part of you would be worth saving? Asterisk, asterisk. Subscribe to the channel asterisk, asterisk, and hit the notification bell. We will be tracking the countdown and decoding the layers of the signal as they unravel. Join the investigation. The audit has begun. Are you listening?